very detailed. And at the time I asked him, Your Excellency, if you wanted to do this by yourself, why did you put us together? Because every item he had to vet up to this morning. And but he's a man, he's an architect. And his architects, they say, are men of precision. So we're happy that we're serving. But before I step down, let me say that we found it a great privilege because this man is a father. His type shows what Nigeria can be because he laid the foundation of Akpabio State, which others are built on, and that's why Akpabio today stands out in Nigeria as a subnational entity. I'm not to make a speech, I'm just to welcome you, but I must say that if we can get all this right, I'm sure the country will go forward. So once more, we welcome all of you, and it will be remiss of me if we do not appreciate President Jonathan, who is here with us on this day. You all know who President Jonathan is. This man saved this country. He saved this country. The man who said, my ambition is not worth the blood of any Nigerian. Yes. But besides that, today is his birthday. And there are so many activities in this town, including his own foundation, which had been fixed the date long ago for today. But he said, no, I must make time to celebrate this, my father. And he's here with us this morning. So, and also our brother, our younger brother, the Minister of Petroleum Gas, Akpabio, is celebrating also the same birthday. So 20th of November is a very special day, I must say. So at the right time, we'll celebrate all of them. But let me welcome every one of you, the people of the class of 99. We've seen many of you, our brother, Governor Igbenidio, Tumbani, Adebayo, so many of you that are present here, and your colleagues, your deputy governors, Boni Haruna of Adamawa State, so many great Nigerians. We welcome all of you, and we pray that our masters of ceremony, you know I'm an ambassador, I can overrule you on protocol. Once the principals are seated, you don't introduce people. It's something we have been educating masters of ceremonies, they don't get it. Once the principals are seated, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, but you keep coming to introduce long lists of people who come late for maybe some good reasons. So please, let's avoid that. This is being aired live all over the nation. And we must save time because after about 12:30, they'll cut us off. And the main we may not get into it. So please, MCs, it's over to you. Welcome, everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Please be seated. Please be seated. And sometimes younger people from Akpabio may not know why their oil allocation has increased in terms of revenue given by the central government and those who fought for it. Because I was in Umpadek as an assistant director then, days of Umpadek. Akpabio was entitled to only 1%. Though, to some extent, Household compensated them because they knew the real thing by giving the Commissioner for Finance was from Akpabio. The Director of Administration, my good friend Attah, was also from Akpabio. But in terms of the allocation, in terms of money, Akpabio, only 1%. Luckily, from 1999, I also became the Deputy Governor of Bayelsa State from the Niger Delta. And Victor Attah was one of the lions that fought for change of revenue. The first is that offshore-onshore dichotomy to be abolished. His colleague, my good friend, Igbenidio, is here, he knows. Victor Attah, I can say, yes, other governors, late Alamese, Ibori, Igbenidio, and others also, but Victor Attah was like the champion. He was like the number one. That this offshore-onshore dichotomy must be abolished. Even when after the Supreme Court gave a judgment against it, he did not rest. He was not afraid that maybe he could be laced with contempt of court. If you look at the words on the mamble, on the program, and you read 18 and 19, it gives an idea of what I'm saying. 18 say, this, that was the quoting Victor Attah, this judgment, that is onshore-offshore dichotomy, will remain to the eternal shame of the Supreme Court of Nigeria unless it assumes the courage in future to reverse itself. We made this after the Supreme Court gave a judgment that offshore belongs to the federal government, states are only entitled to onshore. If that judgment had continued, Akwa Ibom, the level of development we witnessed in Akwa Ibom today wouldn't have been possible, because they would have been getting only 1% or maybe less. And of course, if you read 19 too, said a similar thing. Isaac Boro fought with guns. He was killed. That was a sitting governor. He was killed. Ken Saro-Wiwa fought with pen. He too was killed. But we have a more potent weapon. We all have our ballot papers. Until they kill all of us and take our ballot papers, we have the right to choose only those who recognize that there is a problem in the Niger Delta, that we have a right to the natural endowments of the Niger Delta, and that the day of emancipation has come. That is Victor Attah. That the Niger Delta, especially the states that have offshore oil wells, that they are enjoying money today, we all have to commend Victor Attah. Congratulations, my senior bandmate. We're all happy to celebrate today with you. And I am pleased to join all of you who have come out here today in paying tribute to His Excellency, Obong Architect Victor Attah, a visionary leader, an accomplished professional, and a remarkable patriot on this occasion of his 87th birthday. At 87, Obong stands as a testament to what it means to live a life of purpose. His contributions to the evolution of modern Akwa Ibom State remains indelible. As governor, he dreamt boldly, planned meticulously, and executed decisively. The foundation is laid in infrastructure, education, urban development, economic strategy, and institutional reforms continue to bear fruit decades after he has left. Obong Attah demonstrated that leadership is not about occupying an office, but about transforming the lives and aspirations of one's people. Beyond politics, Attah is a man of character. His integrity and sense of duty have inspired many, including myself, and his mentorship has shaped leaders across generations. His biography, titled Attah, Architect of a New Democratic Dawn, which is being publicly presented today, aptly captures his valuable contributions. Is therefore not just the story of an individual, but a chronicle of courage, service, sacrifice, and visionary leadership. As we honor him today, may we also draw inspiration from his journey, one that teaches us that leadership is most meaningful when it strengthens communities, uplifts communities, and lays a solid foundation for future generations. Your Excellency, Obong Attah, on behalf of my family and my friends, I join millions of admirers around the world in celebrating you. I pray that the Almighty continues to bless you with health, peace, wisdom, and many more years of grace and fulfillment. Happy 87th birthday. And congratulations on this well-deserved immortalization of your life and legacy in the book to be presented today. I thank you, and God bless us all.
One of the most remarkable Nigerians in our generation, the things he did yesterday have led to his being celebrated today, and we are sure that celebration is going to continue into the future. Can we put our hands together one more time for His Excellency Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan GCFR, former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and also, of course, Chairman on this occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to say,
simple pleasure, may we find wealth enough to treasure. Put hope and courage in our hearts, that we may bravely play our parts. Grant love and peace, and grant love and peace and friends of mine, and gratitude for blessings kind. Every single one of Chief Akpoti-Uduaghan's older children was made to recite those lines almost as often as we did the Lord's Prayer. And they were to become the principles by which we were to live our lives. Lowly toil, simple pleasures, bold and brave endeavors prosecuted with determination and commitment, contentment, peace of mind, and gratitude always for blessings. With those lines, which you will find at page 2 of the book that you are here to present, I welcome all of you to this occasion. And I want to particularly thank the chairman of this occasion, His Excellency Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, GCFR, for agreeing to sacrifice his own birthday to come and chair this occasion. I thank the book launch committee led by Godness Igali, Dr. Godness Igali, and all the other members, and all of you who have come. I believe you will enjoy what Dr. Dele Shobawale's name has not been sufficiently emphasized at this occasion. It took him 13 years to put this book together. Not because it was a particularly difficult book to write, but every time he wanted to launch it, something happened to delay it. And he wanted to add more, and of course, without meaning to sound like I always insisted that only the best would do. So thank God that today we're able to present this book. But please permit me to tell you that there are 2 simple stories about my life that you will not find in that book. And with your kind permission, I'd like to tell you those 2 short stories. The first, I'm telling you this because for me it illustrates what Nigeria is and the character of Nigerian people. The first happened exactly 50 years ago in 1975. Interdesign's partnership had been established. I was the one running the operations of Interdesigns from his head office in Kaduna at the 10-story building, which was a prestigious office building. It was called the 10-story building. I was owned by the NNDC, New Nigeria Development Corporation. And people were lining up to have space in that space. And the secretaries that worked in that office have formed themselves to an elite group of very snobbish people. And we occupied the 7th floor. And on the 8th floor, there was a British firm of structural engineers with whom we had worked frequently on several projects. I had a car that would take me to work every day, but the British engineer that ran that office on the 8th floor rode his bicycle to work every single day of life. Whether it was raining, whether it was summertime, whatever, he would ride his bicycle to work. Then one day something happened. I went to work. I sent my car for servicing, expecting that I would come back before I would go for lunch. And lunchtime came. I didn't see my car. I was a bit panicky because I was to come back and prepare for a serious meeting with a client. So I went up to the 8th floor and said to this engineer, please can I borrow your bicycle to go for lunch? He kindly obliged. He came down and changed the bicycle. I took it, I rode to work, I rode home, had my lunch and came back. And shortly after I got back in my office, my secretary came in, fidgeted for half a second and went out. A short while later, she came back, fidgeted around for a bit longer and went out. By the time she came back, I said, listen, what's wrong with you? Well, is something wrong? I'm trying to prepare for a meeting here. That was the alarm bell. She burst out crying like it was something had happened seriously to her. I rushed over and said, what's happened? When she was able to talk, this is what she said to me. Sir, why have you disgraced me like this? I asked, what have I done? Say, all my friends are laughing at me. They say, my guy rides a bicycle. That tells you how Nigerians see their big men. But this British officer was riding that bicycle every day to work, but it didn't matter. But I'm a Nigerian big man. How can I ride a bicycle? The second story started, in fact, 9 years earlier, in 1966. I had just finished in Colombia. My wife, whom I had married in England the year before, was big pregnant, and had bought tickets for us to come home. But there was all this in the media that there was trouble in Nigeria, it could lead to civil war and so on. So I told my wife, look, we can't go home in this circumstance. Let us go to Barbados. That's where you come from. We can stay in your father's house. You have the baby. When things settle down, we go to Nigeria. So I went off to Barbados, got a job with the firm of Robertson Ward, a prestigious firm that developed the Sandilands Estate and the Sandilands Hotel. And the first thing they assigned to me was to add 25 rooms to Sandilands Hotel. Now, those of you who read Forbes or Fortune magazine will know that Sandilands, I don't know if they still do it, but they used to start advertising the inside cover of Forbes and Fortune magazine. It was one of the very, very few 7-star hotels in the world at the time. So I felt very proud that I added 25 rooms extension to this hotel. Now, fast forward to 2002. I am the governor of Akpabio State. I take my wife and my 2 children to Barbados on holiday, as I used to do quite frequently before. And being governor, High Commissioner in Trinidad came and welcomed me and had royal treatment at the airport and so on. And she spent the night in Barbados. We exchanged phone numbers. She went back to Trinidad. 3 days later, frantic call from this lady. Please, 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 are you still on the island? I said, yes, we are. I hope nothing is wrong. No, there's a problem. She understands that our first lady, God rest her soul in peace, the late Stella Obasanjo, was coming on holiday to Barbados, and there was no flight to bring her from Trinidad to Barbados. Would we please kindly go to the airport to receive her so that she would at least have a reception at the airport? So gladly we went to the airport. Received Stella. She came with a sizable number of people. After the airport ceremony, I asked her, where are we taking you, Your Excellency? He said, Sandilands Hotel. Out of assignment. I said, you are going to my hotel, meaning the hotel that I had designed. Well, after a few days, she left the island. 2 weeks later, I came back to Nigeria, and there was an invitation from EFCC to come and explain her own Sandilands Hotel in Barbados. So that tells you the type of Nigeria that we have. So I want to tell you that the same story that I would have loved to tell you, there's a hint of it in the book. And if you go to, what page is it? If you go to page 18, no, chapter 18, page 341 of tributes in the book, there's a particular tribute called, Oga, are you still doing this thing? It is written by somebody who knows me well and knows that I made an attempt, a successful attempt, thank God, to return to my profession of architecture and town planning after I had left office. But it tells the story of all the abuses and humiliation and insult that I received. And one of them actually asked me, "Okay, were you not governor? Why are you still doing this thing?" So if you, since our chairman has referred you to Words on Marble, please let me also refer you to Words on Marble at page 8 of this program. If you read number 21, my answer to that question was, I was a professional in politics, not a professional politician. If Jimmy Carter could return to his peanut farm after being the President of the United States of America, I feel no compunction whatever about returning to my profession as an architect and town planner after my tenure as governor in Akwa Ibom State. I want to believe that someday we in Nigeria will get our priorities right when we would have woken up to a democratic new dawn, and then Nigeria will be great again. Thank you very much for coming.
Are you tired of clapping?
So we'll introduce but he will quickly do some recognition.
Has about 117 photographs, which occupy about 60 pages of the book. The book also has a 7-page index. It's published by a press in Ibadan known as Akpabio Publishers, and the date of publication is 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the high points of presenting a book to the public and having a reviewer do the review is so that majority of the people can get to know what the book is all about. Your Excellency, good to see you, congratulations. The statistics have proved that over 50% of those who buy new books never read them. And less than 20% of those who read them don't even read the book at a stretch. They read it piecemeal. Some get tired out and abandon the book midstream. So they didn't get to know what the book is all about in entirety. So a reviewer is appointed to at least read the book as a surrogate reader on behalf of those who would read the book later. That is assuming that the reviewer himself or herself would read through the book, because many reviewers don't even read through the book. But I guarantee I read through the book about twice. And I'm very familiar with the book and the terrain of it. Now, scholarship has also convinced the world that every reader will have a different meaning of a book. And that is found in deconstruction theory. Because you come across a book with your background, educationally, culturally, religiously, socially, otherwise. All these will affect your interpretation of a book. So your interpretation of a book cannot be exactly like my interpretation of a book. So you are advised to read this book and gain your own interpretation. This book is a biography, and typical of a biography is what is known as a select autography. You know, even the Gospel of Jesus Christ in John chapter 21 and verse 25, chapter 21 verse 25 says that if all that Jesus did were to be written in a book, that the whole world would not contain it. So if everything that has to do with Victor Attah, you permit me because in literary terms, we don't put titles in characters in the book. It's not a disrespect. So if Victor Attah's life and times were to be documented, all of it, you can be sure that this book would have been up to 10 volumes. So the psychoanalytical perspective of selective memory and selective perspective are used in biographies, where the author, or if it is an autobiography, the author himself, writing his story, would select from his life aspects that he deems fit for public showing. This book is a biography because it's Dele Shibowale who wrote it, and he must have been in very close conversations, agreements, disagreements, to get the final thing as documented here. The book has many themes, many subject matters are discussed in this book, as you would find out when you read it. The book has parenting, very well articulately defined, described, utilized. The book has a lot to do with education. The book has a lot to do with professionalism. You have medical doctors, you have architects, you have librarianship in the book discussed. The book has human capital development. The book has many themes, as you will see, which makes it impossible to talk about everything. So I have also adopted the same formula of selective persuasion to choose what to talk about the book within the time available at my disposal. One of the themes in this book is rebellion. And I'm going to talk about a few indices of rebellion in this book. Before I go there, the book also showcases Victor Attah as a very resilient person. Resilient to the point of daring his beliefs against the norms. When you read the foreword written by the Archbishop Abuja, one of the points he makes at the foreword of the book is that Victor is very resilient, even to the extent of risking his life. And that is not an exaggeration. I was going to mention about 4 or 5 things that he does. One aspect of his resilience in this book is that when he was 11 years old, his father, by the way, his father was born in 1908 and he died in 1990, having lived for 82 years. As you heard in the documentary, his father was the first Nigerian to have a master's degree in agriculture. The man was very nomadic, professionally, going from place to place, practicing agriculture and teaching others how to do so. So many times the home front was without the parents. And the mother did not believe in marriage by proxy. That's the situation that the wife is in Enugu and the husband is in Lagos. The wife and mother made sure she was always with the husband. At such a scenario, Victor and his kid brother were left alone in the house, under the care of a relation, a young lady, who was given some tokens for their well-being monthly. But the young lady fell in love with a young man and used the very stipends she was to take care of Victor and his brother with, and eloped with the boyfriend. And Victor was stranded, as it were, with his brother. But being the person he was, and he still is, and coupled with the fact that their mother, at the age of 3, had introduced every child to self-sufficiency, Victor rose up to the occasion at 11 years and thought of what to do, found money, and decided to fry meat and sell, to raise money for his and his kid brother's upkeep. As at that time, curry spice was not very popular in Nigeria. But the mother, being who she was and married to the man he was, had known curry. So Victor spiced his own fried meat with curry. He carried on his head to Uyo Sekos. What is now the plaza, Ibom Plaza, was called Uyo Sekos then, to sell it to customers in the evening times. And his meat became a spontaneous delight. People rush at it.
That is how, ladies and gentlemen, Victor was able to sustain himself and his brother till the parents returned. The book even says that Victor made some profit from the fried meat business, and he returned the balance of the money to the parents when they came back to show for his entrepreneurship and accountability. Another issue of resilience is recorded in the book when the book Airport was to be built. He had odds against it, but he wasn't deterred. And today, the airport is standing and functioning effectively. There are many other issues you will find that will illustrate his capacity for resilience, but let me, because of time, go to rebellion. Victor personifies righteous rebellion without caring about what would happen to his life. First, he was an all-rounder in secondary school, and the parents, the father and the mother, looked at him and said, "Big boy, we would want you to read medicine or engineering." But Victor rebelled against that family decision and went ahead to study architecture. I thought you were going to clap for his rebellion. Victor went to the Nigerian College of Arts, Science and Technology in Kaduna, which has become Ahmadu Bello University today, to read architecture. And it was in that school that his larger propensity for rebelliousness manifested. All along before he came as a student, the white people who were in charge then, this was between 1957 to 1960. The white people, the lecturers, the directors and so on, had been giving Nigerian students a diploma in the practice of architecture without qualifying them to practice architecture like their British counterparts. They were giving them a kind of a subset of degree. And Victor Attah challenged the system, challenged the white people. He led a group of a few people to challenge that system, to rectify the thing so that everybody would be put at the same par. This was at a time that the Director General or whoever he was then, the DO, the white man, could easily have given his name off so that Victor would not have to complete his studies in any of the British Empire schools. But Victor did it, and thank God he succeeded, because by 1962, it became ABU. The federal government set up a panel to investigate what happened. Victor had to go back to complete his school there, but he was advised not to pursue his degree there because of bad tempers that had risen because of what he did. That's how he got to Leeds, and so on and so forth. You watch that in the documentary, I don't want to go far. Victor showed rebellion when Inter Designs came into existence in 1974. The first thing he did was, there was this NDIC building, the headquarters in Abuja, that he was in charge of, or his company was in charge of. And the project manager had some ideas different from the design that he had of the building. There was a heated argument that had to be resolved by the client. The client supported Victor against the project manager, and the work continued. But just at the completion of that project, this time the client himself had a disagreement with the entrance of the building. The client wanted a rectangular design to welcome guests to the building. And Victor faulted that design because he said it will not give an aesthetic integrity to the building. The disagreement became so heated. The man wouldn't agree and Victor wouldn't agree. At the end, Victor, in a building that was almost done, tendered a resignation and walked out of the project. It is recorded in the book that that was the first time and perhaps the only time that a Nigerian architect had to work out on integrity rather than compromise his design. Please put your hands together for that. Victor rebelled against General Sani Abacha. What a person to rebel against. The temperament of the man should send shivers down your spine. When there was this mass movement to Abuja, Attah Designs was given a contract by Abacha to design housing estates for Nigerian Ports Authority staff in Abuja. Victor dared to question the president. Where is the sea in Abuja? Where is the port that I should design buildings for staff? You know the temperament of Abacha, that he couldn't have taken that line low. But he stood on his ground and refused to do the contract and damn the consequences. He did not do it. Fellow architects came to him and said, boy, don't you see the mammoth money you would have made or the company would have made from this deal? And Victor responded to them that he doesn't swallow things that will riot in his stomach. He did the same precedent again in 1994 during the Constitutional Conference. Out of the 62 people that represented members of the Delta, South people, oil-producing states, he alone was the one who stood on the hallowed grounds of the National Conference Hall to fault Mr. President and expose his hypocrisy in what he told the members. Victor was the only one who analyzed the president's speech to fault that this was a blatant lie, this was not correct, and should not be accepted. If you were Abacha, how would you have felt about him? He did that boldly, frontally, and that is how he crowned it up with standing on the same floor to demand for what you heard about resource control. Please put your hands together for such a dear request. Since we knew EFCC, the tradition has been that they will arrest you and take you to court. That has been the pattern. But there is one man who took EFCC to court. It is Victor Attah. When EFCC had this alleged mismanagement of EcoNet funds and dared to insinuate him as the guilty party, he challenged the allegation in court, dragged EFCC to court, and won EFCC. The judgment is written in the appendix of this book as it came, as it was read by the judge that day. Ladies and gentlemen, for lack of time, because you saw this man drop this for me, Victor has even dared to rebel against death. When his company had been invited, along with other members of the team, to find a way of upgrading the NDA, Nigerian Defense Academy, to a university status, Victor had been at the outset of the plans. Several meetings, several trips were made to several places on that. But when eventually the money for the establishment of NDA universities was approved, Victor was sidelined. Rather, a young architect who had just set up his company in Kano was given the contract. Victor could not take that line low. He stormed the commandant's office in NDA, found his way through to his office and stamped on his table and challenged him and said, is it because I am a minority? That's why you guys are tossing me back and forth. Let me remind you that this country has fought a civil war before. And if you continue like this, there are potentials that another civil war can be fought. He put his hand on the table of the commandant. That startled the man, and he reached at his revolver. And Victor sat down and said, you want to shoot me? Come on, shoot me. And the man did not shoot him. Vibes after that reported that that man said, Victor must have been mad. He must have been acting on the spells of insanity. And trained officers don't shoot at lunatics. So he cheated death there. And Victor is 87 today. He has already added 5 years to the age of his father. Victor, it appears to me that you are not living life, rather that life is living you. And before I take my seat, ladies and gentlemen, this is what book you must read. It's written in a good journalistic language for communication for everybody at any level. This book uses expressions that will identify you to like it. This book uses names of real people in real locations, the time, the place, the events, daring any challenge. If you think this book has exaggerated, you are free to bring out the case against it. So all the affronts, all the people that the affronts were masterminded at are listed here. I recommend this book, but not until I ask Victor, are you really human? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for this short time of this video, and God bless you.
It is thoughts and good wishes to our father and leader. So you permit me, please, to read the words of the governor of Akwa Ibom State to our father and leader. We are gathered today to celebrate a life that isn't just a great, but has inspired countless others to pursue and attain greatness. A life which is defined by intelligence. A life which is defined by wisdom, discipline, integrity, courage, selfless service, and perseverance. Looking at the person of His Excellency Architect Obong Victor Attah, the circumstances and timing of his tenure as governor of Akwa Ibom State, the events which defined that era, and his remarkable accomplishments, we have every reason to thank God for our state. The timing of his governorship was perfect for a state that was in dire need of a sustainable direction, sound foundation, governance, philosophy, and developmental blueprint. His Excellency, Architect Obong Victor Attah, fitted perfectly into what our state desperately needed at that time. In 1999, Akwa Ibom State needed a visionary man, a thinker, a father, and a man of bold ideas who would lay an enduring foundation for the sustainable prosperity of the state. Thankfully, the trajectory that began with him has catapulted Akwa Ibom State from the backwaters to one of the most prominent states in Nigeria. The result is there for the world to see. Some of the iconic projects that have distinguished Akwa Ibom State were conceptualized by his administration. Some of them are the Ibom Power Plants, Ibom Hotels and Golf Resorts, Victor Attah International Airport, the Ibom Deep Seaport, Akwa Ibom State University, Shelter Afrique Estate, amongst others. These weren't just projects. They were the underpinnings and the catalyst for the emergence of the modern Akwa Ibom state. He also designed the master plan of Uyo capital city, giving us the ring roads, which facilitate seamless movement, expand the city, and make Uyo not just one of the most beautiful, but one of the fastest growing cities in Nigeria. His principled fight for resource control and the struggle for the abrogation of the obnoxious onshore-offshore dichotomy stand out as his enduring legacies as governor and define his national image as a courageous fighter for justice and a notable voice for the minorities. That struggle and the sacrifices he made permanently settled the economic future of Akwa Ibom State and other Delta states. It combined with his audacious projects and bold visions to earn him the sobriquet father of Akwa Ibom State. This 87th birthday is significant, but it is marked alongside the launch of his biography, which was just unveiled. There is so much to learn about the vision, the courage, the discipline, the integrity, and the leadership style of this father of modern Akwa Ibom State. An illustrious Nigerian and global icon. I am sure the book will be a veritable manual on leadership, professional development, political activism, minority struggle, and public administration. It will offer us a rare glimpse into the life of this national asset and great leader. Akwa Ibom State is blessed to have him as a father. The South-South geopolitical zone is a constant beneficiary of his interventions, and Nigeria is perpetually enriched by his intellectual and insightful perspectives to national issues. We love and celebrate you, sir. We appreciate everything you have done for Akwa Ibom State. We acknowledge your contributions to the Niger Delta region and recognize your tireless efforts towards building a great Nigeria where peace, unity, fairness, equity, economic prosperity, and social justice reign supreme. Permit me, on behalf of the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, to join all your well-wishers to wish you a happy birthday. We love you, sir. Concerning the book that has just been launched, the Governor of Akwa Ibom State had sent in a donation of 20,000 naira for the book launch, 20 million naira for the book launch. Your Excellency, may God bless you. May God keep you. You will see many more years. In Jesus' name.
Of countless architects, public servants, and leaders. As an architect, there's a saying that some people build monuments, others build people. One lasts longer. I believe that His Excellency Architect Obon Victor Attah has done both. That's why we are here today. Attah is not only a respected national figure, but a senior colleague, a mentor, and a leader. His wisdom is one I have relied upon at a very important moment in my professional journey and public service. Because I remembered when I was in the university, part 1 and 2, and even in part 3, during the long vacation, we used to come and serve in the farm, both in Achkon, Norman, and Durban, and another session we served in inter-design partnership, where architect Oban Victor Attah is a partner in that firm. So, as a Minister of Housing and Urban Development, I have also learned on his guidance on key matters affecting our profession. When I became the Minister of Housing and Urban Development, all professional bodies are under my oversight functions, including the Nigerian Institute of Architects, the Architect Registration Council of Nigeria. So some issues involving the Nigerian Institute of Architects and the Architect Registration Council of Nigeria evolved. That issue warranted that for the last 10 years, the Nigerian architects could not sit for their exams of graduating to become architects due to a conflict between the NIA and the ACON. Each time he came to my office 3 times. He responded not with sentiment, but with clarity and depth, and genuine concern for the future of the profession. His counsel helped us find direction when tempers were high, and build bridges when disagreements seemed to harden. His passion for architecture is not just technical, it is moral. He cares deeply about how the profession shapes society. With his counsel, we were able to resolve that issue that revolved between NIA and ACON. I know this same principled leadership defined his tenure as governor of Akwa State. He championed master planning, development, foresight, and even economic empowerment. And it is the same courage that made him a defining voice in resource control and true federalism in our democracy. Attah has lived his life with vision and with the humility to use that vision for the good of others. This biography being unveiled today is therefore more than a record of achievements. It is a legacy of knowledge, sacrifice, and uncommon public spirit. I believe it will serve as a reference work for young architects, students of leadership, and anyone who wishes to understand what it means to build with purpose, whether in government or in practice. On behalf of the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, but most importantly from my heart, I congratulate you, sir, for a life that continues to bless the profession and contribute to nation building. I thank your family for sharing you with Nigeria. May God continue to renew your strength, and may his wisdom long endure as a guide to all of us. Happy 87th birthday, and congratulations on this well-deserved honor. Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you, sir.
Senator Abdullah Abdulkadir Muhammad. Distinguished guests, esteemed ladies, gentlemen, and our beloved architect, Victor Attah. It is with profound joy, immense honor, we gather here today to celebrate a living legend, a visionary architect, and a transformative leader, Architect Victor Attah, on his momentous occasion of his birthday and the official launch of a commemorative book. I want to start this good message on your remarkable journey from being a registered member of the institute, the NIA, to becoming a fellow of the institute up to your election as its president, 1997 to 1999. I can recall during your presidency at the AGM of 1998, you stood and promised that the next BGM will take place in the government house Uyo than when you are about to start contesting. And true to type, we held that next conference in Oyo government house. That shows their belief in what you desire to pursue. And now, serving as chairman of the board of trustees of the Nigerian Institute of Architects, testify to all the stands you stand as a professional and a democratic person. This all stand as a testament to your unwavering dedication to the professionalism, ethics, and the advancement of architectural education in Nigeria. During your tenure as president of the NIA, we cannot forget, you brought programs like strengthening professional advocacy, focusing on ethics and standards, promoting architectural education, making the Nigerian architects become more visible by their surrounding communities, institutionalization of consolidation within the institute, etc. And after your tenure, you have been playing the role of an elder statesman of the institute, which now has chosen you as its chair of the BOT. Not that I earlier said our institute. This is because your esteemed professional body of architects has decided to bestow on me with the status of an honorary fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Architects in the coming 6 days. I humbly accepted to be personally present by the grace of Almighty Allah for this investiture. I remain eternally grateful for this honor because to belong to the highest class of membership of a professional institute with over 8,000 registered architects of different classes, including such iconic leaders like architect Attah, is an honor. Furthermore, your exemplary tenure as first civilian governor of Akpabio State, which has been detailed variously here, in Nigeria's continuous move to be under democratic dispensation, has been etched in history for laying robust infrastructure and economic foundations. You transformed Uyo into a model city through your initiated State Master Plan program, which led to extensive urban renewal projects and vital projects like the Ibom Power Plant, Ibom Deep Sea Port, Science Park, and the iconic Ibom International Airport, which has now been named after you. Your advocacy for resource control and the 14% derivation fund has significantly uplifted our Akpabio State revenue, empowering countless development initiatives. Today, as we celebrate your legacy and this beautiful book, a tribute to your life and achievements, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to you, sir, to your selfless service, your visionary leadership, and your enduring impact on our nation and beyond. May your birthday be filled with happiness, your wisdom continue to inspire generations to come, and many healthy years ahead. Here is to a man of greatness, a champion of progress, and a beacon of hope, architect Obong Akpabio. Happy 87th birthday, sir, and congratulations on this wonderful book. To support the book and to educate our young coming up architects, the Bauchi State government is pledging 10 million naira for a 10-copy scanned copies of the book, which should be deposited in our various state of learning. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Achievements are a testament to the power of dedication, vision, and service. Your contribution to our nation's development are immeasurable. As a leader, you have shown unwavering commitment to democracy and good governance, nation building. I join your family and other well-wishers to celebrate and pray the God Almighty to continue to sustain you in good health. Congratulations, Your Excellency, and happy birthday. Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, PhD, GCON, Speaker, House of Representatives of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Your Excellency, before I step out, the Speaker has asked me to inform you that because of what he has heard about this book, even though he hasn't seen it yet, that is willing to purchase 360 copies of this book for the 360 members of the House of Representatives, that as soon as the event is over, that he should pass through me and get appointment with him to pick the money for the purchase of these 360 copies of the book. Thank you so much, Your Excellency.
Here representing my dear husband, Oboremem Ekberipeko, who is unavoidably absent. He called me yesterday that I should hurry down to Abuja after the burial of my mother to attend this very important celebration. Moments ago, he sent felicitation through me to his father, and I beg to read. It is with deep honor and a profound sense of privilege that I celebrate an extraordinary leader, a revered statesman, and an exemplary Nigerian, His Excellency Obong Architect Victor Attah, on the momentous occasion of his 87th birthday. Your Excellency, today we celebrate not only the longevity of your exceptional life, but your enduring vision, intellect, and character that have shaped the trajectory of Akwa Ibom State and significantly influenced national discourse. For me, you are, without any reservation, one of the Nigerians' most distinguished architects of development, a strategic thinker, and a courageous advocate for justice, equity, and federal balance. Your genuine pursuit of resource control and fiscal federalism elevated the conversation on national fairness and earned you a place among the most resolute defenders of Niger Delta's rightful interests. As governor, you demonstrated uncommon foresight. Your administration laid the structural and institutional foundation upon which the development of a modern Akwa Ibom proudly stands today. Your leadership was defined by clarity of purpose, administrative excellence, intellectual rigor, and a deep, abiding commitment to the welfare of your people. Your Excellency, beyond your public service, you are a principled statesman, a mentor to leaders, a repository of wisdom, and a voice of reason in moments when our nation seeks direction. It is important for me to state with gratitude that you played a defining role in my own political journey. As the governor of Akwa Ibom State, you were instrumental to my emergence first as caretaker committee chairman and subsequently as executive chairman of Ikaluku government area. And as we know, that marked the beginning of my political career. You have remained my mentor, a man who dearly loves my family. I value the relationship we share and commend the type of politics you stand for. Politics of peace, inclusion, fairness, dignity, and respect for all. On behalf of my family and the Ministry of Petroleum Resources Gas, I express my deepest respect and heartfelt felicitation to you. May the Lord continue to bless you with sound health, renewed strength, and enduring peace. Happy 87th birthday, Your Excellency. On the launch of the book, he told me that he had earlier communicated with His Excellency. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, come.
When I met in the UK, he asked me to come and work with him as a master planner. And that whole experience, I came in 81 and I left in 88. It was a tremendous experience for me. It's had a huge influence on my career, and it still does, in fact, to this day. And I owe Victor a huge debt of gratitude. During that period, there's just one sort of short story, if I may, that I would like to tell. And it speaks of Victor's transition from architect to politician. we had a client, a government client, a minister, who was proving difficult. And we'd had a particularly bad day. Coming back from the meeting, Victor said to me, "Jerry, if ever you see me making any sort of move to become a politician, you have my permission to shoot me." So, wind the clock forward to 1999, I was sitting in the UK in my house. The phone went. Victor came on the phone. "Jerry," he said, "you remember what we talked about me becoming a politician? Well, please, don't shoot me." He said, "I've just been elected as governor to Akpabio." So I'm very happy I didn't shoot him, because frankly, Victor transformed Akpabio using his architectural skill and his newly acquired political skill. I mean, he made just huge moves in that state. And I was so gratified to watch the television last night to see that the current governor has taken on that mantle and is driving the state forward. Young people are getting trained, young people are sort of working down there. It really made me very, very happy. So, Victor Bassi Attah, consummate architect and reluctant politician, it's great to see that your passion and ambition, not just for Akpabio, but for Nigeria, is undiminished. And Victor, may your desire and argue and to apply pressure to people, which he did to me to get me to do this, because he knows I'm terrified of this sort of thing, continue for the betterment of the country that you love and the people that you have such hopes for and belief in. Victor, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jerry, for your kind words.
Existing protocol. Obon Victor Attah is a man that is very dear to Afenifere. I remember during this transition at a particular time, I think towards the end of President Obasanjo's tenure, he was one of the few Nigerians who saw the need to make contact with us, very supportive of our cause, understood the fact that even before he got very much involved in resource control, that our founder, Chief Obafemi Awolowo, had always been a long advocate of devolution and resource control. I remember even Obong telling me once upon a time that even his father was a progressive action grouper, and that the palm tree was a strong political base within his zone in Akwa Ibom. Very acknowledges the exemplary life Obong has left, the fact that he's one of those few former governors that we can see that his tenure was not that of state capture. He lives a modest life, and he has demonstrated the need for those of us that get involved in politics to have another address apart from politics being the sustenance of our being in politics. So he's a great leader in showing that politics should not be about going there to control the resources of the state. Politics should be about development, and that's why we have a lot of respect for him. Very will launch this with 8 copies of this book with a 7-figure sum. The actual amount of that 7-figure is what I will discuss with him, but then very will launch the book, 8 copies with the 7-figure sum. Thank you very much.
Enjoying the goodies from his house to here, and we are so happy that he's living up in 1994. He's going to live beyond our late elder Ike Clark. We have assured him that we'll back him up and we'll live beyond. On behalf of Pandel, the Pan Niger Delta Forum, we have purchased the books for 2 million naira on behalf of Pan Niger Delta Forum.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Scott is not there.
Who is it?
Pandel. Okay, I will announce it. Then, this other man.
Where is this, sir?
I know him, sir.
Okay.
I'll handle this.
All right.
He sends 10 million through me, but you asked me not to announce that. His Excellency.
Okay.
The sick is not here.
Okay. So.
Thank you very much, Pandel Akpabio State. They are also supporting the book launch with a sum of 500,000. Thank you very much, Pandel. Engineer Dr. M.M. Kofi, MFR, has also sent in 500,000. Mesuli, Vice Chairman, Board of Trustees of the Aruwa Consultative Forum. Thank you very much. We're now going to...
I'm Dr. Amina Mohammed Bello Shamaiki, ni Attah. So much has been said about my father, Obong Victor Attah, and I'm here as a daughter and also as a mentee. When I say a mentee, if you hear Attah from Akwa Ibom, you know there are only 2 Attahs, Professor Edby Attah and Architect Obong Victor Attah. I'm one of the mentees and a daughter to Professor Edby Attah. You all know he should have been here. And I'm sure he's here with us in spirit. He's alive, he's well, but unfortunately he's not able to be here. And I'm here to represent him and to say, if I would say the way he would say it, it's Victor, that's what he called. He's a brother, and he has exemplified the love their parents have shown to them, and have extended that love to not only their siblings, but to the community where they grew up, and the state and Nigeria at large. And it is that love that has spread across the country that has made me to be here and representing Professor Edby Attah at this occasion of the 87th birthday of his most loved brother. Actually, they are supposed to have been twins, only that they came 2 years apart. So on behalf of my father, our father, Professor Edwin Attah, and the whole Attah family, we're here to celebrate with our father, our brother, our mentor, Architect Victor Attah, on this momentous occasion of his 87th birthday, and to say the love he has shown to his siblings, most especially his twin brother, to his community, to his state, that has been said, we don't have to repeat it. It has been said how he loved his people, how he ensured development of his state, and the love extends to the whole country. Because for me, he's actually not from Akwa Ibom, he's actually from Kaduna State, he's from northern Nigeria. So you can see how the love of Nigeria has been shown today. We thank God for his life. We thank God for the good health he has given him. And we thank God for the love he has shown to the whole community. And we pray that he will continue to be in good health. He will continue to give as much more than he has done before to his community and to the country. So, to conclude, I will say, Ekom Usen Emana. So,
much more in position to say just a few words about the man we celebrate today. Let me begin with a story. I'm sorry if I take your time, but I won't take long. After all, we are all getting ready to round up and go. I attended an 80th birthday of a friend. And so many good things were said about him. Next, by my right, sat another church minister. And when he was asked to move a vote of thanks, he said something along these lines. If all these are true, why was it not made? I left some spaces, lest you should know who. But the idea was, why was he not made a bishop of this diocese? Simply because he doesn't belong. But he belongs in the church, in ecclesiastical circle. But by blood, the person really belongs to the territory. Let me just draw an example. If all these, and if only hypothetical, because I know they are true, how is it that humanity still does not want people who are true, people who are straightforward, people who are disciplined, people who can build better communities? And we prefer only to deal either by tribe or by ethnic group or by money and deceit. Story one. Story number two, that has to be between me and former governor. Bear in mind that he served at the time I was in Uyo as the Catholic Bishop of Uyo before I was transferred to Calabar. His first term in office, I was already there as the bishop. His second term, I was still in office before my transfer. So he has known a lot of me, and I think I can safely say a lot about him. The one in focus at the moment. I'm talking about a leader who admires, loves, and would serve even to the point of death to defend democracy. And among the ingredients of true democracy is to listen even more to the underprivileged, the aggrieved, not only to those who are colleagues in politics that will make you grow higher. So one day, while building, and I'm often in sympathy with him because he designed Uyo Metropolis, and every one of us would want to push to the end what you desire. But it will not be possible for him to remain forever, to build Uyo. So one of the streets emptied out into our property flooded. I see him smile again. He knows immediately. And I had sent a warning, not to him, but to the contractor, which didn't seem to have been heeded. Otherwise, we would not have had that flood in the property. So I went to see the property. I was infuriated. I pulled off my soutane, went down to Government House in what is now called 3/4 with my shirt. And I was not allowed to pass through the gate. I said, look, I am a rightful citizen not only of Nigeria, but of Akpabio State. I want to see the governor. Not only because I'm angry, what I felt was outrage. When the governor got to know, and I'm talking about then Governor Victor Attah sitting there, that I was outside, he immediately communicated, sent words, and came to see us. In many cases, either I would have been shot, or I would have been handled, or bundled into the boot of a car and taken back to my home. Democracy means being able also to listen to those who are aggrieved. And I'm worried. Worry is not a good word in this matter, but I dare to use it. I'm worried about Nigeria as we seem to slide every day into a one-party system, which is unhealthy for any country. Finally, I want to say, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. May the Lord God bless 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 you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Microphone, the one and only son of the celebrator.
My job is very easy, and I think time has gone. And mine is just to say a very big thank you to everybody. But what I would want to do is give a small story, because so many people have said so many things today. And one of the things that people have said to me all through today and even before is, these are big shoes to fill, these are big shoes to fill. I said, well, I have a story about big shoes. When we were growing up in Kaduna, my dad, during the weekends, always used to take us to the sites that we're working on, and he used to have these construction boots that he used to wear when he was going through the sites. So, I always wanted to walk in my father's shoes, used to wear these boots and go around. But I was maybe about 4, 5, 6 years old, and these boots were big and these boots were heavy. But I wanted to walk in my father's shoes. So I took these shoes and I was walking, and these shoes were big, and these shoes were very heavy. And I just abandoned the shoes and walked back home without any shoes. I got back home and everyone asked me, where are your shoes, where are the shoes? And I just said, down there, down there. And when they went down there to look for the shoes, they were gone. So I just want to let the person who has those shoes, that those shoes are big to fill. So they better know how they are doing it. Thank you very much. I want to say a very big thank you to everybody who has taken time out to come here today. We could have been anywhere, but you were here with us, and I know that everybody had a very busy schedule, but I want to thank you most sincerely. I want to thank the organizers of this occasion. They have done a fantastic job. We want to thank the book, the publishers, the writer, who have been able to tell the story and make the story available to people to be able to learn and to read and to understand what has gone on and what could possibly be. I also want to thank the people in the story, because if there was no you, if there weren't the people in that story, there would be no story to tell, and we would not be here where we are today. So I just want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you for coming, and please, journey mercies as you all go back to your respective positions. Thank you.